Hello everyone, so this is a 16-inch plow disc that I'm using. I purchased it from Tractor Supply, but I can no longer find it on their website. So if you just do a Google search for a plow disc, I know they come in 16-inch, 18-inch, I think they also come bigger. This is a 1/8 inch thickness or 11 gauge plow disc. I'm building the whole Skottle around this comb and grill, which you can find on Amazon, or you can get the Ozark Trail version at Walmart. Alright, so here I'm burning off the paint that comes on the disc. After this, I'm going to throw it in some vinegar to pull off the mill scale. So here I'm just taking a look at the at what the fire did for burning off the paint. And now I'm going to cut a couple extra pieces because I want to pull the mill scale off of everything in one shot. So these are the pieces I'm going to be making in order to hold in the grill underneath. So I'm going to cut just a couple pieces of angle, and here I'm cutting the piece that will fill in that center hole. Alright, so I've got all the chopped up pieces with the mill scale still on them in here, sitting in vinegar. This is the first time I'm using vinegar to remove mill scale, so we're gonna see how it goes. It comes recommended. Not sure if it's working or not. It does look like it is, but most of this is what I've pulled off myself, but we'll see. It's supposed to take about 4 hours, so I'll probably just leave it here overnight and pull it out in the morning, and we'll see where we're at. Alright, so let's see how it came out. I'm not sure if it looks any better, but definitely, yeah, it's definitely coming off. You just have to clean it. Yep, it's definitely coming off. Maybe more so on some of these pieces than other pieces, but all right, so here we go. Let's shake it up a bit. Let's see what it kind of looks like. It's kind of all coming off. I'm gonna go hose it off now. All right, let's carry it around. All right, so as I was running a hose over it, I just wiped it with my hand, and most of it came off. I mean, it's not clean. The mill scale's still there, so I'm gonna have to take a wheel to it, a wire wheel or some sort of disc. But it got off the majority of it, so it shouldn't be too difficult to hit it up at the end and clean it up with like a 3M disc. I'll leave a link below to the 3M disc I'm gonna use, or a wire wheel. Let's see which one works better, but that's next. Let me hose off the rest of the pieces and get them all in this shape before wire wheeling. The bag for the Skottle just came in. Company is Tahoe Western Tack Riding Style. It's a single rope carry bag for horseback riding. These are pretty padded. All right, I'm doing this with one hand. Give me a moment. You know, when you horseback ride, you protect your expensive ropes. Not that I'm horseback riding and know anything about equestrian stuff, but here we go. So this is definitely going to fit. Notice the size. This will fit about, I think it's 24 inches in diameter. So your Skottle can be upwards of around that. And let's get it open. So here it is. It's pretty much just a nylon covered canvas, or nylon back canvas. Pretty stout. I don't think it's gonna rip. It's gonna be, I mean, there's no padding to it, but I think it'll take good care of itself in ripping and keeping everything else clean when the Skottle is kind of oily and dirty from being
cooking on it, you can just throw your Skottle in there, and there's plenty of room to probably get the Skottle, and even if you get a cover for it, like just a top for the top of your Skottle as you're cooking, you could probably get both of them in there nice and comfortably, as well as, you know, once I get the legs on here, the length of the legs are gonna cause it to stick out. I wish I knew who gave me this idea for the saddle bag. It was a YouTuber, another YouTuber that did a Skottle thing, or I'm not sure what exactly. I don't remember the video exactly, unfortunately. And so that's where I got the riding bag idea from, the rope bag. But I think he took a different version of a cooker and just made some improvements and bought one of these bags or something like that. And so I'll leave a link below, but I wish I could give him credit to pass you along. I just unfortunately don't remember who gave me the idea for the bag. So if you happen to see this video, you know, definitely leave a message below, and I'll start sending people your way.
Okay, I'm working on planning out exactly how I'm going to mount this to the bottom.
Never make promises, 'cause I don't keep them. I never make promises, 'cause I don't.
All right, here we go. It's burned in. I do need to grind it off. It's no longer flat in there, and so I got to clean up the whole thing now with a sanding wheel, grinding wheel, sanding wheel, then the 3M disc, so I can get it ready for oiling. I'm not going to touch it and flip it over to show you the backside, but the backside looks similar. I welded both sides. This is the 3M ScotchBrite disc I'm going to use. It's a stripping disc. Okay, it does wear away much more than some of the other discs that are cheap on there, so like the mill scale doesn't actually build up inside of these. So I highly recommend these. Now, going through the process I've already done will save the disc. You know, if you spend the money on the vinegar and then clean off the vinegar, you will get more of a life of this rather than just going at the mill scale with this. But if you have a quick little piece, you can just go right at the mill scale with this if you want.
I never make promises, 'cause I don't keep them. I never make promises, 'cause I don't keep them. 'Cause I don't keep them. 'Cause I don't keep them. 'Cause I don't keep them.
Here I'm just cutting 3 simple aluminum legs. I had some spare aluminum tubing, and this is what I bought the steel tubing to fit around for underneath the Skottle. Alright, so I just sanded off the welding color and some of the heat passed through and stuff like that. Just made it smooth again for the most part. And now I'm just gonna wipe off, I guess maybe it should be acetoned or cleaned again before I oil it. I was really hoping to oil it, but coming up with that, I really should wipe it down with something. So let me do that. Let me wipe it down with something, and then we're just going to rub a little coconut oil to keep it from flash rusting or anything like that. And then we're going to fire it up tomorrow. See how it works. Rub some coconut oil on it. Nice and get it nice and, oh, that smells good. Set it under and heat it up. Alright, so I definitely see why the wind deflector is a smart purchase. So I may have to make one or make it so that way it fits, because the flame in there is definitely getting blown around and it's not even that windy. But I'm going to let this heat up. Let's see. It's definitely getting a little warm. Probably need a minute to start heating up. I'll put a couple drops of water. Let me go grab a couple drops of water. All right, so I have seltzer. Let's put a drop. Ooh. It's already boiling. That's a nice temperature, can't lie. It's been less than a minute. Man, I'll give it 2. It hasn't been less than a minute. It feels like it's been less than a minute, but definitely not. Let that boil off, turn it down. Could turn it off in a second. Feel over here, or not touch it, but I can feel the heat right there. So, all right, let's get some oil on there and wipe down. I don't know, that could be from the previous oil. I put some oil on it so it wouldn't rust through the night. Where now let's oil it up. All right. Flip this around. I'm gonna turn it off. There we go, off. Now a little disappointing, this doesn't have a flint in it, so you have to bring a lighter or a match. All right, same thing we did. I'm just gonna grab it. A bunch with the rag, and we're gonna rub it in. We're gonna do it up, down, left, right type of deal. And then when it cools down, I'm gonna call it. Okay, let's go this way with it. All right, let it cool off and let's cook a meal on it in a little while. All right. It glistens. I got 2 slices of cheddar and a slice of goat cheese. That cooking in there, but I think we're good. Let's rotate this, get this. So now that I'm done cooking, we're just gonna throw
half cup of water on there. Whoops, made a little mess. And I'm gonna scrape off all the bits. And as soon as it cools down, I dump it, wipe it off, heat it up a little bit, and re-season it, or re-oil it. Call it a day. So now I'm using salt to rub off any of the little pieces of food that are left. So we're gonna rub off. Just gives it a little grit to clean it. And now I'm just gonna heat it up again and re-oil it and call it a day. All right, I'm just concluding this whole thing by trying to wipe in some coconut oil as the burner is on. It's nice and hot. And that's it. All right, I'm gonna let it cool down now. So just wiped off probably a little bit of that. All right, I'm gonna let it cool off. And we're done. Hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to subscribe because you're awesome.